Okay, so next database I want to talk about is this Jstor, and some of y'all may have heard of this before. We definitely have some professors who recommend it. Jstor is a very long-standing database. It's been around for a long time. Really good for humanities research. So anything within arts, literature, history is really particularly good with Jstor. We get a lot of history classes coming in and finding a lot of good information in this. You get stuff for the social sciences. It can be a really great database for anything sociology, criminology, psychology, those kind of topic areas, education as well. Hard sciences, this wouldn't be my first stop, so anything for biology, chemistry, etc., but you can find research within it. I've seen some great stuff come out of the Jstor Sciences collection, so come here, good general multi-subject area search. Looking within it, so let's say we wanted to talk about okay. Searching, same as ever. Put in your keywords. You saw you had those advanced search options where you could use Boolean operators and break things down, so adding in multiple keywords. Once again, you have this search within the result, so instead of completely restarting your search, you could say, okay, I want to talk about the Southern rights movements in Alabama. What are we looking for? I'm curious what I get. Okay, so still 23,000 results on that. This is another place that doesn't have a peer-reviewed limiter. It does tend to specialize within academic research, but it can pull in popular resources and newspapers as well. But if you're looking specifically for peer-reviewed, you're going to have better luck if you limit to that journals. You get primary source content, so things that are going to be those original documents, original ground zero for research that we talked about, so newspapers, original documents that it's coming up with. You can limit by publication date. Within the civil rights movement, because that's a historic topic, I definitely wouldn't want to limit that to the past 5 or 10 years. We want to go back to the 1960s and 50s and 70s, that kind of thing. Have other limiters, not as frequently used with the subject area, but you do have those options. How to access this? Same sort of thing as everywhere else. Kind of browse through, you can see you get to these Our Journal articles. So Civil Rights Movement, a press perspective. Okay, so click on the title, you're going to get more information about it. So you get that bibliographic info of what is this article, who wrote it, what journal was it published in over here on the right. You kind of get these subject headings as well. It defaults to automatically giving you the PDF full text. And so the PDF for this one, it doesn't have HTML. Jstor only brings you PDF options. This is one that you don't scroll through the PDF. You kind of have to use these little arrows to get to the next page. Hopefully y'all could figure that out. Most PDF readers, though, you kind of scroll down to get to the next page, so this is kind of different with its reader on how it operates. You have your options to send things to your email address. You have the option to save this to Jstor, so if you want to create an account within Jstor, you can do that. Most people just download the PDF, and so you have to accept that you're going to use this responsibly and give proper citations, and you're not going to put it up online without permission. And so then you have the full text of the PDF that you can save to your desktop, save to a flash drive, save to a Google Drive, and it will then, you have the full text without having to come back to this page all the time. So pretty easy for accessing. You do see when you come back to it, once you downloaded that PDF, it kind of brings you, hey, you like this. Maybe you might be interested in finding more content on these topics. So the database is trying to help you find more information. Few interesting things about Jstor. Jstor is kind of considered a warehouse for journals. It is a back file of journals. So what that means is you are not going to get anything published within the last 3 to 5 years within Jstor. This is not where you come for the most current, I need stuff published within the last year. You're highly, 99% of the time not going to find that here. This brings back files of older issues. So that's why it's one of the reasons it's really good for humanities and history and that kind of research is, if we're talking about the civil rights movements, we don't necessarily need things published within the past 5 years. Stuff going back 5 decades could still be relevant to our research into information. So definitely a back file, so keep that in mind. However, going back, I've seen stuff pulled out of the 1600s for Jstor, that it was periodicals of the 1600s and like newspapers that were coming out that have been scanned in. So this can go back definitely decades and hundreds of years. So if you're looking at research that can span in that time, Jstor is a really good topic or really good database for that. So keep that in mind with your date range. Another thing that some students get really frustrated with on Jstor is you get a lot of reviews. So let me see if I can bring that back. So let's just say civil rights movements. All right, so you're seeing above all these titles, it says journal article. Lots of times it's very common within Jstor to bring up a lot of reviews for articles. So instead of getting this primary research within Jstor, you are getting journal or book reviews within the journals. And so this is where someone wrote this book about the civil rights movement, and then another expert or professor gave their opinion on that book. We've talked about reviews a bit in this class. You get a lot of those in Jstor. And so if that's what's coming up, there are a few ways to put that out or to get rid of that. Clicking journal articles can be helpful. Also, going back to your advanced search and saying not and putting review is one way that you can weed out a lot of those reviews. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking for more of the primary original peer-reviewed research on this topic, that you don't want someone's book review. However, book reviews can sometimes be helpful to your research, that they provide you with that expert opinion, and they can sometimes lead you to other research, that they're giving this book review of this book or someone else's journal article that they did original research in. This could lead you to, hey, this would be a great research. How do I go find that? And so you actually go find the original book. Or perhaps you've already read that book. This then can help you back up the opinions presented in that book and your opinion on how that information is being used, because you have this other expert, John Smith, saying this was really valid research and this is very important and this is how it should be used in academics. So it's giving you that expert opinion to help back up and support your argument, so they can be used that way. Book reviews can also be helpful because they teach you, okay, well, what should I be looking for in this book? What are its strengths? If it has weaknesses, it can help you identify those, because sometimes it's easier for experts within the field who are researching on this topic to point out problems with logic, problems with how people are doing their research, problems with assumptions they're making based upon incomplete facts or something like that, that it's easier for experts to identify those and point it out. And so that can help you with understanding the research you're looking at. So reviews can be helpful, but they do get frustrating if you're looking for those original documents and all you're getting is reviews. Try adding in that Boolean operator not and review, and that should help you limit your search a bit. All right, questions about Jstor? Do let me know. We got one more video talking about Project Muse.